Like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm saying, even with this right here, I was thinking like prepare for it more, and even have some of the followers where they come in and ask me questions about Bird Boy. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. So
You
that one
know,
I got. I've done a couple of YouTube lives where we're going through something, and then people can comment and ask questions live, and then you can.
yeah.
Yep. So that's good too.
I said,
So
I'm just trying to build content. Like I'm noticing building content to be able to constantly release content is important. You feel what I'm saying? Even if it's just 20 seconds, you know what I mean?
so so yeah. So the thing is like so you got the story, right? You got a way of explaining the story. So if I say, hey, explain to me the Lonzo in that episode, right? You could go deep into it. You could spend 45 minutes just on two, three parts of it, right?
Yeah.
But which parts are those, and how can we take that and put it out, let's say short form, a 90-second video, a 3-minute video on TikTok, this and the other. So that's where like the content comes in. So I like to record more stuff. That way I can figure out, because sometimes the shit I wasn't gonna use is the shit I use when I go to put the
Yeah.
video out. Yeah. So, but that's good. So I had a question though, and it hit me. So what would be your opening shot, right? So let's suppose this is a series now like The Wire. What would be the opening you think to Bird Boy? The scene.
Did I? So I haven't sent you the part I did when I'm being born, when I'm because I almost died as a baby when some mild something that my mama had when having me. So I went and recorded that. So that would be how I would start it. You know what I'm saying? My mama, I got to see. Let me see that shit right now. How did I send it? Let me see. Let me see the best way I got it. Damn, I got to get out of this to send. I'm gonna send you that. Remind me to send you that. Let
Okay.
me see. Can I send it from here? 1 second. Let me see if I can send it from here because it would start off with that, maybe me in an ambulance or something to that degree being born. You feel what I'm saying? And going through the whole structure. You need to hear this. I think this will give you a even better idea of what I'm trying to do. Let me see. Let me go to this. Go to this because I can send it to you right now.
Oh, did your mother pass, or is she still alive?
He's still alive.
Okay.
My father passed, but my mother's still here going strong. Man, I just hung up with her crazy, but
And where she
me and
live?
my mama like sister. She in Cali.
Okay.
She in Cali. She she's still ticking, man.
How old is she?
She's 72.
Oh, she young, man. My mama's 90.
Oh shit. I'm
Okay.
hoping my mama get to see that, man.
Yep. And her mama lived to be a little bit over 100
Wow.
in Puerto Rico. Yeah. So
Wow.
yeah, I just came back from Puerto Rico in November, man. I had a great time, man. 11 days. It reminds me how sometimes you just got to get away from everything, man.
Yeah.
Focus on life itself.
Oh man, bro. That's what vacation does, man.
Hmm.
I used to take those vacations, man, and get so rejuvenated, bro, to where I'm like, I need one so bad right now just to get, myself 100% focused where I can be with, because I do a trillion different things at one time. You know what I'm saying? So
So
about me moving,
my brain is like that. Sometimes I gotta get out the bed and type or write out an idea so I don't forget it. But my brain works
mhm.
like that, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this right here. This is awesome right here. I know I downloaded it. I was trying to find it in an email. That's what I was getting all. I got so much shit. I was getting all. I was setting myself up to get more organized. And I said, once I get more organized, I'm finna revamp my whole process with Bird Boy. You feel what I'm saying? I'm finna do little videos to songs and shit. I'm gonna do vinyl, all these different things to bring awareness to it that also can profit from it. You feel what I'm saying? That's my goal, to be able to make it start generating money now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like I'm at that stage. If I get the right, marketing and promotional tools in place, I feel like it'll start happening. Last month. Okay. What would I call that? What would I call that? It's downloaded in here somewhere. So yeah, man. I think if we get on the page with the Byrd Boy, man, I
Yeah.
think I really believe, and not just because it's me. I just listen to a lot of things out there.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest thing that's going on the internet is controversy right now. That people just
And
yeah, like I don't know if you follow Whack 100. You know who that is?
no.
Well, Whack 100, he got the thing called Clubhouse. You heard of that? It's an app.
Yes, somebody told me about listen, and she's like, I'm surprised you're not on, because she's a psychologist. Is a girl I just broke up with. She said the guy who thinks like you, I'm surprised you're not on Clubhouse, is what she was saying.
Yeah. See this with me and you can like see what we can do with the Clubhouse shit is we can take my reputation, right? Because this was all about reputation. I just don't like going back and forth with people. I don't like, how they do it. Once you go see it, but that shit generate money like a motherfucker. And it's what's out right now. You feel what I'm saying? My approach to it is I don't like confrontation, believe it or not. The last thing I want to do is be beefing but on there, that's all they do. Like right now, it's this guy named Big U, right? I don't know if you heard of him. Well, Big U was an OG nigga. He the one was part of Nipsey Hussle. He had Nipsey Hussle signed to him at one point. You know who Nipsey Hussle is?
Yeah. Come on,
The
man.
rapper that, okay, no, I'm saying the rapper that passed away, his own
Yeah,
homies killed him, right?
that's what I found
Nipsey,
out. Yeah.
yeah, his own homies killed him, right? So, but Nipsey had so much going on in the community, but they had this program. They tried to do it with me too. When I had a thing called Redirect, and what the police do is they give you a BlackBerry phone, and you kind of like start working. They give you a nice budget, but you kind of like start working for them. Like you
Yep.
start, they want you to find out shit. They want you to tell them shit. You feel what I'm saying? So I wouldn't do it. And at the time, the two individuals that I had to redirect with, neither one of them wanted to do it because we just didn't want it. Like, come on, man, like that's like telling, and even though you change your life, at the end of the day, come on, man, I can't call and tell you that such and such, I heard that such and such done this, or I can't, so Big U, he did it. They offered the same job to Nipsey Hussle, like 1.2 million or some shit a year, some crazy type of money. Big
Okay.
U took 500,000
Mm-hmm.
and he started doing the program. So strange shit started happening in the process of doing the program. Certain niggas going to jail, the police knowing more than what they supposed to know, that type of thing, whatever, right? So now it's all starting to come out years later. Years later, this is how it happened. This shit was, I think, 2011 or 12 when he started it.
Yep.
Now, 13 years later, because people was taking deals, when you take a deal, nothing, no evidence come out. You feel what I'm saying? But when you go to trial and you got a paid lawyer, he starts suppressing evidence. You feel what I'm saying? Shit gonna come out. So that's what's been happening now with Big U. So that shit's all over the internet now, but it's the biggest thing on the West Coast, California. Everybody watches California. Even though the South is big as far as hip hop, as far as that street shit, everybody's eye is on Cali. You feel what I'm saying?
And
Them
not
niggas
New
making
York.
so much, huh?
And not New York.
I mean, New York is still New York, yeah. I mean, New York, California, New York, California, Chicago, and them like they own states. New York, but the gang shit don't went to New York, you know what I'm saying, really bad. Like they Bloods and Crips down there. So they
Yeah,
they they they
but
fought.
so I noticed it was around, I want to say around 2004 or something. that's when I started realizing in Jersey, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
grew up an hour outside of New York, and that's when I started seeing that like the Bloods and the Crips was really a thing.
Mm-hmm.
We had more Bloods in our town,
Mm-hmm.
but the problem is there was different sects, right? So
Mm-hmm.
different sects, it was where like you had Bloods killing Bloods. There was very few Crips. I know a few Crips, and the crazy thing is like I'm cool with a lot of them because I went, I grew up with them and whatnot. And now all of a sudden here is we're grown men, and because they still in the street, they joining these gangs or whatnot. And
Mm-hmm.
it just man, when I tell you when that shit happened, I started seeing a lot of my homies, man, shot dead. I'm talking about grown ass fucking men, and I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out what the fuck happened, man. It
Yeah.
well, again, it wasn't a lot of Crip shit, but I don't know if it was like that in Cali or is it like that in Cali. But to me, it kind of seemed a little bit more disorganized than what I thought
Yeah.
it would be, where it originated from.
Yeah, yeah, those gangs and right now, Grape Street, the gang that I used to be from, it's one of the biggest gangs in Jersey right now. Grape Street. Google it. It's one of the biggest gangs in New Jersey.
You said
So what happened is, huh?
Race Street?
Grape Street. Grape Street. Grape Street Watts.
Okay.
That's one of the biggest gangs in New Jersey right now. Grape Street. Thousands of members from it or whatever.
Crips.
That don't yeah, Crips.
You was a Crip?
So yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So now what happened with the gangs is that the structure went away. The
Mhm.
structure, there's no structure. So when people like me left the gang, when people like me finally realized that I can't leave the gang, you know what I'm saying? The structure left with people like me. You know what I'm saying? People like me, I'm gonna hold the line, I'm gonna push the issue, I'm gonna make sure, you know what I'm saying? So when you lose that, holding people accountable for what they do and don't do, when you do that, when you do those things, when you like you lose that, you lose the substance to it. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like now you got drug addicts, niggas that's on meth, on cocaine, they run the hood now. They're young, in their early 20s.
Yep.
Then they got 15, 14-year-olds listening to them. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mhm.
like it's so corrupt. You know what I mean? And so people like me, I'm a grandfather now, and none of my kids are in the gang. I didn't allow none of them. I got 4 big, strong sons. You see him? I got a son 6'6". You know what I'm saying? You see
Mhm.
him, you be like, God damn, but he ain't in no gang. You know what I'm saying? I didn't let him be for none of my sons. I didn't let him be for no fucking gang. So when I start breaking the cycle right there, it kind of left it in a thing where um they're being misled totally. Like as you keep listening to my story, you'll see that I was totally misled. I was a good kid. I wasn't never really a bad kid, so I never really had a bad heart. My
Mhm.
situations came from me even having to stand my ground, which I start learning real early. Like because being a victim, bro, is not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Being bullied is horrible. You know what I'm saying? So when you start at such a young age, you start realizing like, hey, shit, I ain't finna be around this motherfucker being bullied. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Then I'm not gonna let nobody take my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then when you start seeing violence at such a young age, it becomes a norm to you. You know what I'm saying? It becomes normal. Like that shit became for me when I got in prison. For me to cut a motherfucker, that was normal. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna cut your ass. I ain't gotta. This what I done made my mind up. I know
Yeah,
when I poke
but
your ass with this
prison.
knife.
So I'm sorry to interrupt, but so prison and street life, right? The what the hell was it? Oh, okay. That's another thing that records my it records and translates the meetings. It started late for some reason. No, but so prison and the streets, those two things I can draw a line to, or they run parallel because one of the most important things that they have in common is, and I think I told you this before, is that when you do something, there's almost immediate consequences to it, right?
Mm,
Now, if you go to work and you're a regular Joe Schmo, you might do some shit and get away with it, and there might not be immediate consequences. You might have to wait for karma to show up. But on the
mm,
streets and in prison, you do some shit, If you fuck it around, you're probably most immediately about to find out what those consequences are. So I can relate. I can see how your street experience and prison experience basically kind of run parallel because you got to watch what you do, right? And that even though you doing whatever, so on the streets, right? So even if you're doing you know you pushing weight or you know selling drugs on the corner, whatever. If you do good business, shit could go well for you. That don't mean that you won't run into a stick up boy somewhere down the line, right? But at the same
Yeah,
time, you know, if you do good business, shit can go good in terms of the street. You fuck
right,
around and start ripping people off and shit like that, that shit could almost immediately catch up with you. You know what I mean? And we see
right.
that in the story Bird Boy, where with Janky Steve, and I thought Janky Steve had just got hurt. Then I was reminded when I just listened to it again, shit, that nigga got killed point blank range.
Yeah,
But it sends a
yes,
message, don't fuck around.
no.
Thing. So
And
usually when,
back then, people ain't finna tell what they saw back then.
yeah.
You understand? It's the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like people wouldn't, motherfucker ain't finna say shit because a lot of people didn't have nowhere to go. You know what
Well,
I'm saying? Like
you
I didn't
know,
have nowhere to go.
what I noticed though was you said the police was canvassing the neighborhood, knocking door to door. Hey, did you see anything? We want to investigate the shooting from yesterday. Lonzo right across the street watching the police. So basically, he watching to see who's going to talk.
Yeah,
And it's crazy because you said when the police asked him, they said, well, I don't know. He must have did something to somebody, and they got
right.
pissed off. He crossed the wrong one, which is
Yeah,
to hear that shit, you know, on the street. I'm like, yo, what happened to such and such? I don't know. He must have fucked over somebody, and they didn't like it, which told me they know something. But I didn't.
yeah.
I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
It's your common sense to kick in. You feel what I'm saying? But just imagine a little kid watching this shit, thinking in his mind, like, man, this nigga just did some heinous shit, bro. Like, and why
Mm-hmm.
the police ain't arresting him? You know what I'm saying? Why the police ain't and taking him to jail? You know what I'm saying? Like, and because they need somebody to say they seen him did it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
that's what they need. You know what I mean? So you've learned at 10 years old, you don't say what you saw. And then
Mhm.
you got to understand it too. Lonzo was such a manipulator. He convinced Booby that Janky Steve was dead because he said what he saw. You feel what I'm saying? Like he made that little boy believe that you should have never told me that Lonzo did that, nigga. So you don't tell what you see. So I had a burden on me for a long time,
Yeah.
thinking that this dude was dead because I told what I seen him do. You know what I'm saying? So it was a double situation in my little young brain that I was trying to cope with and understand and couldn't really tell nobody. I wouldn't even tell my best friends that I seen him kill Lonzo. I mean, I seen Lonzo kill Janky Steve. I
Okay.
didn't even tell my mama.
So you got involved. So Lonzo sort of kind of took you under his wing and put you on, right?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
then you describe, I'm trying to figure out, you describe somebody that took your shit or did something, and then Lonzo found out, and then next you know, that nigga was dead.
Yeah, I was hustling in front of Gemini Twins' house. I started
Okay.
short stopping his customers. You know
Okay.
what I mean? And
Gotcha.
and because I knew his shit was rolling down there. You know what I'm saying? Rolling, rolling, rolling. So I would stand in front of that motherfucker and tell him, man, he don't want you to go back there. I got it right here. And he caught me. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, well, shit, nigga, I'm just hustling, whatever. You know what I'm saying? This the mentality after probably 2 years of being under Lonzo, I don't develop. Like I don't
Yeah.
develop I'm a hustler. You feel what I'm saying? Like I want to get money. You know what I'm saying? Like in my mind at 12, like ain't no daddy around this motherfucker. I'm able to put my money under my mama pillow and I'm able to, I'm being a man at 12. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like our lights ain't off around this motherfucker. Some food in the refrigerator. I'm doing this at 12. You know what I'm saying? So my brothers, we ain't hand me down no more. I got shoot buy my brother and them stuff. My mama didn't like it. You feel what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what's she gonna do? You feel
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck you gonna do, mama? I just paid the light bill. You feel what I'm saying? What you gonna do,
Nothing.
mama? I mean, we got steaks and shit and fish and shit in the refrigerator. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what you gonna do, mama? You know what I mean? So the pressure comes from all different directions. Single mom, you know, my mom was strong. My mom would work 2, 3 jobs. So I'm just saying, like, the way Lonzo was with me, I'm like, Lonzo wasn't a weird dude where he fuck with little kids or nothing like that. And I'm so grateful for that. You feel what I'm saying? But how the gang Baby Loke started, those older dudes would call us they baby. In their mind. They would tell us, that's my baby. So that's how we became Baby Lokes, because we was raised by psychopaths, you know what I'm saying? And they pushed all that malice into us that we had nothing to do with, none of those gang beefs, none of those inner beefs. I had anything, I was an innocent kid. I had shit to do with who Lonzo had problems with or who he don't did this person with, but I inherited everything he was going through by him saying I was his baby.
Gotcha.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if a motherfucker did something to me, Lonzo would kill you. He wouldn't, Lonzo was a serial killer because Lonzo killed a bunch of motherfuckers around there. And I remember one time, this one guy, I don't talk about it. I went in the house, Lonzo shot him in the stomach and shot him like twice in the stomach. And he's a real known person around there, and he's laying there, and he's telling Lonzo, like, damn, man, you just gonna let me lay here and bleed to death? And I'm looking like, God damn, this had about just about a year of me being around the nigga. And I'm like, damn. Next day, they found the old boy in the alley dead. Same scenario. Like, nobody said nothing. Nobody know nothing. I never talk about that particular person in the Watch Chronicles because he got nephews and kids running around there to this day. If I say something, I know if I say something, that's going to spark something because of the way the kids are. You know what I'm saying? The way, you know, how revengeful the people are in the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? Me once being a revengeful person. You know what I mean? Like, I understand, like, some shit you take to your grave. So there's a lot of things that I talk about that I don't talk about, you know what I'm saying, with the nigga Lonzo. But Lonzo was a really ruthless person. He died a violent death because he was a violent person. You feel what I'm saying? Motherfucker stabbed him.
How he died?
He stabbed him in prison like 20-some times in prison. They stabbed his ass up. You know what I'm saying?
That's like
But
that. That's like that. There's a new Netflix. There's a new Netflix show called Griselda, right? And Griselda was, she was big. She was, I mean, I'm talking about she was a big wig in cocaine, from Colombia, but she was, living in Miami and whatnot. Yo, she pointed this way, and 2 or 3 motherfuckers got capped like that. And one of her enforcers, I remember watching a documentary on her like 6, 7 years ago. One of her enforcers, who's already in prison, he was telling a lot of the story, but he ain't had nothing to lose because he's already doing life. You know what I'm saying? So I was amazed that she actually escaped the law and then kind of quit the whole game and started living a regular life in Colombia and became a grandmother and shit like that. And I want to say 4 or 5 years ago, man, she coming out the grocery store, man, and she was known for inventing that drive-by with the on a motorcycle where you got that second person sitting backwards and fire it off. That's how they killed her. So it took a long time for her past to catch up with her, and she was at the scene, but they got her. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. That's the same with that nigga Lonzo. And then the cold thing, the irony of it is, like, I had to wait 40 years to talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't never talk about it because of the life I was living, the people I was around, and how I felt about things. I felt like I'm snitching. You feel what I'm saying? So I had to convince myself, like, what they gonna go do? Dig Lonzo up and charge him with stank Jackie Steve's death?
nah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to convince myself that part. And then as you keep listening to the story, a lot of the things I'm talking about, like, do I discuss it? You feel what I'm saying? Do I talk about it? You know what I'm saying? But it has become a relief for me. It has become, at one point, just to get these things, as you get deeper into it, and you understand it, like, it became a healing process for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, all this shit I endured, man, all the fucking, like, just all the fuckery, all the death. You know what I'm saying? All the that come with being in a gang, like the way I was in a gang. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was this gang joint took me at 10. I didn't have a daddy, nobody. Like if I seen Lonzo around my son right now, I think I'll kill Lonzo. You feel what I'm saying? That's just how I be. That my mentality be if I seen this nigga talking to my child. You feel what I'm saying? The type of person he is. Two things. I either got to get my family and move the fuck up out of there or kill Lonzo. You know what I'm saying? Because just look at how bad he manipulated and misled this kid. You feel what I'm saying? It had this kid like fuck my mind up completely, man. Like that shit was part of my brain, my whole process of being in the gang. That's why I rose so high in the gang so fast. You know what I'm saying? Because of my mentors and how you listening to Finn Thutu and them type of motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? How they taught me about the game. You feel what I'm saying? How they taught me like you don't tell. How they taught me what happens with snitches. How they taught me how about loyalty and honor. They taught me that shit, even though it was based on a bunch of bullshit. Now that I'm older now, like like when I realized this shit, man, I'm not finna let none of dude. I'll get my oldest son on this motherfucker right now. I beat that nigga ass. I catch him over there in the hood in front of everybody. I treat him like a nigga in the street because I couldn't allow because he had my mentality, which was once I seen it, like you like me, you fucked up like me. You feel what I'm saying? So I can't. The two things gonna happen. One of these niggas gonna kill you around here, or you gonna be in jail for the rest of your life, and I'm gonna be sending you motherfucking packages and coming to visit your motherfucking ass. So that's what I'm finna do. You're not finna be from this gang. I don't give a fuck I'm from this gang or whatever, how you look at it or think it's some glory to come with this shit because you see how these people look at me around here. I don't buried all my motherfucking friends and watch them all get life sentences. You know what I'm saying? So you're not finna be from around here. And my son hated me, bro. He hated me for years because he felt like I didn't think he was hard enough. You know what I'm saying? No, I know you got my DNA in you. You know what I'm saying? So I know you, but I know like I'm not gonna allow you to follow this trail this fucked up trail that I'm trying to dust off when you following and allow you to do it. I rather I die first. Or I kill your ass. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna let you do it. And dude, when I say this nigga hated me, he hated me. You feel what I'm saying? Because I didn't let him be from the hood. I let him hang out in the hood. I wouldn't accept he was from Gray Street. He tell me I'm from you're not from Gray Street, nigga. This is what I tell him, like, man, how? And so we went through years of that, bro. Like years of, I'm talking about me fucking his ass up multiple times to where it finally dawned on him when when I got him in boxing, I had him up in Vegas. I had Richard Steele. I was doing me and Richard Steele. My son was undefeated as an amateur boxing. Once I got his ass into boxing, he was undefeated as an amateur. He was finna turn pro. I had Richard Steele behind him. He was Richard Steele with them older referee guys or whatever and shit. I had him behind him. We had him up in Vegas, had him in camp. He was finna turn pro. And his girlfriend came up there and got pregnant during camp or whatever, and he left camp. He never turned pro. And so that kind of broke our relationship too, which went back to now I got him, I'm not thinking the gang shit, but now he want to go back to the gangs because he wasn't number like 16, 17 at the time when he was going to turn pro, 17, 18, somewhere in there. And so he tried to go back to the gangs. He tried to lead a boxing and try to go back to the gangs and want to hustle in the street, talking about he got a baby on the way. And now he's finna come hustle and use my connections and my word and name and shit. Man, I beat the shit out of you, man. I beat the shit out of him, bro. I lost it with him because I just couldn't believe like he was going over my head. Like we got into it real bad that day, and so I stopped talking to him. And but he seen how serious I was about the game. Cause you gotta understand, man. Like not gangs of today. I'm talking about like when you got real reputable gang members, like I used to be. So it's like you got so many people want to take my name. You feel what I'm saying? They want to be little me, baby me, tiny me, but I didn't allow that. So my son wanted to be little me, so which gave him so much power over there. All the bullshit street gang power, drug connections, and just connections. He would inherit it. That's how it worked back then. I didn't want my child to inherit none of those things. None of my kids. I didn't want them to because I knew the real deep inside part of how fucked up it is. You know what I'm saying? How cutthroat it is. How it ain't no loyalty in this shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like how your best friend is waiting for you to slip or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? Your closest homie. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I watched so much inner shit happen with the inner part of the politics of the game. You feel what I'm saying? Like when I say, when I was gonna say, here, take this package over here. Don't look at my package. And I say, I go to the door and an arm snatched the bag from me or whatever. That was like one of my, you get heavy in the story now when I talk about Kill Bill. That was his daddy. That's his daddy that was snatching the bag from me or whatever. But anyway, my son, I got to end this with my son is because all of that turmoil that I went through with my child and just fighting to keep him out of the game because people say you can't. Once the street people say, nah, because I'd rather my son not to like me or love me at this. I knew he loved me, but not to like me because I'm running him off from over here, then to allow him to come over here and think that this is the way to go. You feel what I'm saying? So my son basically got a front row seat to watch me bury everybody that was close to me, watch everybody that he seen was close to me get life sentences. He had got a front row seat to that when we really stopped talking to each other. He came to the funerals. He came to the, because he was tight with these people. And so that nigga now, long story short, that nigga now work at Lockheed Martin. He's a technician. He get $50 an hour. He bought his second home. He's married. He's doing everything right. You know what I'm saying? That he took from me. So I'm proud of that. You feel what I'm saying? That's like, because a lot of my homies, we don't talk to this day because a lot of them allowed their son to take their name and to do the thing, and they dead now. You feel what I'm saying? And so it's like our relationship hurt because we would go through these arguments over like my name, like, here, why you gonna let your son, you gonna build this shit up and this and that? Why you gonna let your sons, come in and keep it going? I said, because keep what going? It's like we fighting a war that nobody's winning. Like I'm like, if I don't bury my best friends to this shit and they don't bury their best friends to this shit, who winning? You feel what I'm saying? Them niggas can't answer that question for me. You feel what I'm saying? Like they can't, like I don't feel like I'm winning, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like, like it's people that I don't lost nigga that was dear to my heart. You know what I'm saying? Like my life ain't been the same since they've been gone. So tell me, my nigga, who winning? So they couldn't tell me that, bro. None of them niggas, all them OG niggas, none of them could make me understand who was winning. You feel what I'm saying? Because I don't give a fuck if they killed 5 of us, we killed 10 of them, we still not winning. You feel what I'm saying? Like, because our people is never coming back. So before I allowed my son to go through that, and me and my partners that were so close to this day, we're not close because they allowed their son to follow their footsteps, and most of them are dead now or serving life. And so they hate me because I done moved to Texas and my sons is not. You feel what I'm saying? So they don't support me now. You feel what I'm saying? They talk shit about me. He changed, he this, you know what I'm saying? He got the Watch Chronicle, he talking about shit in the Watch Chronicle. But I'm talking about my motherfucking life. You feel what I'm saying? What I say ain't finna put nobody in jail. You feel what I'm saying? What I say is already, it's fucking documented in fucking court, or the person's fucking dead. You feel what I'm saying? He's fucking dead.
What happened? I can't hear you.
I know I get homeless.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah. So, it's a lot with this Watch Chronicle shit, bro. That's what I'm telling you to make you to understand as you listen to it and you see like, and then my story is not where I get killed or go to jail. I'm like successful. You feel what I'm saying? For as far as over there, I own properties. You feel what I'm saying? I'm productive. You know what I'm saying? I do so many productive things with people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not fucked all up. You know what I'm saying? Like I got my issues like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? But I got a mind. You know what I'm saying? I know right from wrong. You feel what I'm saying? I believe in what you put out in life is what you get back. All these things that our life has taught me. You feel what I'm saying? I install it in my kids. I don't push religion on them. You feel what I'm saying? I allow them to be whoever you want to be. I don't, you know what I'm saying? But just treat people how you want to be treated. And that's how I raised them. You know what I'm saying? So the story is gonna end with them same white pigeons me releasing them at somebody's wedding. You feel what I'm saying? The white angels, what I called them as a kid.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And me being successful. You feel what I'm saying? Like saying I survived all this. You feel what I'm saying? All this shit you just heard, I survived it. And you can do whatever you want to do in this world, this life, if you put your mind and heart to it and you dedicate yourself to just my whole fight for me, bro, has been me not to be kill and wacky loke. That's
Yeah.
been my whole fight. And that's why you find out how you say, damn nigga, you like, because man, that person was an individual that's just gonna do some shit. You feel what I'm saying? And in my mind, nigga, I don't give a fuck. You violated whatever rule we got, if it's stupid or not, your ass gonna get punished for it. You know what I'm saying? Your ass gonna, you know. And so as I start understanding that I was misled and these rules and shit don't really have no value to it other for the benefit of the fucking gang, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to be in the gang no more. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to be in no motherfucking gang because I didn't want my kids to be in no fucking gang no more. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? It's not. So I started feeling like a contradiction that I was like allowing other people, kids, to be in gangs and shit. And had my little homies and still doing shit with them and 1 foot in and 1 foot out. So that shit really started to bother me as a person. So then that's when I started recording Wise Chronicles. I started recording Wise Chronicles 2019 when Kill Bill got killed. He's gonna come up inside of he's part of it too. His story is way heavier than mine. I've been working on that too. That I got that to the side with. I've been trying to work shit out with his family and shit like that because his shit make my shit look like Cinderella, look like a fucking. His shit is heavy. So but I got like I had became Kill Bill's psychologist because after he blew a motherfucking head off, he would come talk to me. You feel what I'm saying? And so I knew, I understood him. He wasn't a bad kid. He just revenged, in his mind, he had to revenge his daddy's death. And if you had anything to do with his daddy's death, he gonna blow your motherfucking head off. He gonna tell my daddy I love him. That was it. Throughout the ghetto, that was a thing that, because the one person that survived it, tell
Mm-hmm.
my daddy I love him. That's what he would say before he shoot you. But one person survived it. So that was a thing around there. But I know I'm going trillion different stories because it's hit my mind as I talk about shit. And that's how I'm able to record the Watch Chronicles. I can't just say, I'm gonna write this down and record it. I gotta smoke some of this good weed I got and then go in there and start talking. That's how I record that shit you listening to. I don't write it down. I don't plot it. I don't do no screen, none of that shit. I just smoke some good weed. That's one of my fucking habits is good weed. I can't smoke any type of motherfucking weed. I gotta smoke that really good shit. And then I can come in here, I can put everything I'm going through the side and say, okay, this is where I'm at right now in my life and talking about this. And then I just start blabbering.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But right now I'm stuck. I'm stuck on 13. I can't get nothing out. I sat here, I freeze up. I start thinking about all the shit I'm going through of surgeries and all this other shit, financials, money, all that shit start tearing me up.
But okay, so you're saying creatively you're stuck.
I'm stuck.
So you know what? You might need a vacation, man. Somewhere to get away and just let nature hit you. You know what I'm saying? Take a
Yeah.
look at certain things. I used to have I used to have there was a tax office one time and I had got two servers for them. And basically all the tax offices connect back to my server. That's how they run the tax software. But each one had to have its own tax software license. So your tax office works off of one directory of the tax software, and then the next one has its own directory. And I couldn't figure out how to do it because this other dude had all these different virtual servers and it would run slow. And so I said, you know what? I got most of the things set up. I said, okay, I'm gonna take a break. And I was working all night long on it. I took off from work. I was scrubbing the bathtub because I was going to take a shower. And I rarely scrub the bathtub, man. But back then I was doing that. And then it fucking hit me. Shit, you could do it like this, right? So, and long story short, because the software installs on your C drive, directly onto your C drive, then I said, all I have to do is create a folder, multiple folders on a C drive for each office. And then every office that log in, I can have permissions that they can only see their shit, right? Boom. As soon as I did that, as soon as I thought that up, I finished cleaning the tub, took a shower, and then I called the lady up and I said, look, I got 1 and 2 up and running, check it out. She liked it. She said, okay, bam, I need these offices. They, I had all 25 offices running, but I needed to separate myself from the issue. I already got the expertise. I already got the creativity. But any creative, it don't hit you all at the same time. It's almost like if it hits you at midnight and you can be chilling doing something, you know what? Look, guys, I got to run into the office. I got to work on something because it's while it hits you while it's fresh. But sometimes we need the calmness where our mind is no longer on it. I just now figured out the between my first wife and I figured out why I never decided to try to rekindle something. We're good friends to this day. And it dawned on me one thing that I like that she wasn't doing. So I wasn't being treated a certain way. And like you were saying, hey, we like to be treated a certain way. And after a while, if you're not treated that way, you ask yourself, why be friends with this person? Why be with this person, right? So all this time, we were married 21 years, man. And we have not been together since 2017, I want to say. And what's up, baby? Oh, hold on. Give me 1 second, mommy.
All right.
Bobby, sorry about that, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No, but I do think it's important though, because filling in these gaps. So the way I look at it, man. So what I was thinking about, this is the other thing I was thinking about, because I do have to listen to all of it, and then I need to take notes because I'm trying to figure out, you could make a whole episode, let's say it's a TV series. You make one episode, but in that episode may need to have some parts of your episode 2 and episode 3 to kind of fill in the gaps and make it work. That make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in fact, my wife actually listened to it as well last night.
Uh,
We were going over to the vape shop, and I said, just listen to this. And I thought she had heard the original episode, Lonzo, when you first released it, but she said she don't remember listening to it. And no, so I asked her, I said, so what do you think you can do with this? Can this be turned into a series or a movie? She said she could definitely see it turn it into a series.
mhm.
And I think a series is better suited because um, there's so much to tell. And I like movies. I really don't like series that much. But what I do like about a series is they'll take a story and then you can watch 13 episodes. That's 13 hours of this, story that shit is all entangled. And then the detail, then little by little, they untangle shit. And then you start figuring out why. And then you're hunting down the bad guys and the good guys are over here. So I like that about shows, that it can go on for a while. You can do a lot of different things with it. So I think a series would definitely be the way to go. And I'm trying to figure out, but listening to it will help me figure out a little bit better in terms of the parts and pieces. But I am trying to figure out, okay, so in terms of like social media marketing to kind of get more attention to this, but the right type of attention. It's like you said, if we put some janky shit out there, then people gonna think it's janky. But if we stop and look at it for a minute, maybe then we got something going. We can get the right attention from the right people, and then now we can look at basically pitching it to certain studios, or they're already knocking at the door. That's what you want. So moving too fast could be a problem, but at the same time, we can't move slow because you got everybody and their mama right now pitching stories to different, studios, if you will, right? So
Mhm.
think of Tyler Perry Studios. How many motherfuckers is trying to send them stories and pictures and shit that they've already did and done, right?
Mhm.
And then so I'm like, okay, so how can we submit ours in a way that it stands out? The story's good, right? And honestly, since Boys in the Hood, what was the other one? South Central was the other movie.
South Central, Minister Society.
So
Um,
so I thought Boys in the Hood was good. Minister Society, I don't know how good that was. South Central to me was below all of them. To me, that wasn't. Yeah. Um, but I don't know if there's been a good story since then. I mean, even Juice, right? But so let me just ask you
I
this.
think I think this right here, which separates this right now. When you can go back and look at the YouTube. When I released Watch Chronicles, a lot of other gang members felt okay to start talking about their gang life, right? But
Yeah.
most of them only want to detail the hard part, the tough struggles or whatever, right? Through Watch Chronicles, I want to get real intimate within it because I think that's gonna help certain people. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not just about gangs in itself. It's about the system structure of the system, how it's designed to destroy the black race. It's about redemption. I compare it to the pursuit of happiness. You've seen that with Will Smith,
Oh
the
yeah.
pursuit of
Yeah.
happiness.
Yep.
That's in my mind. That's what I don't think of South Central. I don't think of Minister Society. I think of Pursuit of Happiness. I think of Antoine Fisher. I think of movies like that because that's the impact I wanted to have. You feel what I'm saying? Like, but you got Boys in the Hood in there because of the gang shit. You feel what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But right now to this day, I hate gangbangers, believe it or not. You feel what I'm saying? I fuck a gangbanger. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, when I think about shooting it, how do I show Bird Boy? I can't show Bird Boy without showing Lonzo. You know what I'm saying? That's the difficult task. You understand? Like, if I can show Bird Boy without showing Lonzo, I would do that. You feel what I'm saying? Because I don't want it to seem as if I'm glorifying anything or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But then I look at movies like The Godfather, and here you have these Italians doing all this crime and criminal shit, and we love it to watch it. But when we see black people do it, we tend to have this stigma towards each other, and we don't want to support it or don't want to watch it. But motherfuckers watch The Godfather 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You
I've
feel what I'm
watched
saying?
that thing constantly. As a matter of fact, I watched it the other day, just a clip of it. I looked, I pulled up the whole movie while I'm driving to Dallas, and there was a clip in the beginning of Godfather where the funeral director was coming to ask for a favor. Remember, Connie was getting married, and
Mm-hmm.
you can ask the Godfather. He can't refuse any requests on his daughter's wedding day. So people were coming into the office, and then the funeral director wanted justice because his little 16-year-old daughter went out with some boyfriend, and then once they gained her trust or whatever, she went out with him and some other boy was there, and then next thing you know, they beat her up, and I think they raped her or what have you, or maybe they didn't rape her, but because she wouldn't give it up, they beat her up and whatnot. So her jaw was shut, and he said, "Well, what do you want me to do?" Right, and then he walked over and whispered into the Godfather's ear, and he must have said, to kill him. So he sits back down, and the Godfather says, "This I cannot do." He says, when's the last time you ever invited me to your house for a cup of coffee? He says, my wife is godmother to two of your sons. And then you never once come to me in friendship. And now you ask me to commit murder, right? He said, I want justice. He said, that's not justice because your daughter is still alive. Now, had you come to me in friendship and offer me friendship, those boys would be suffering this day for what they did to your daughter, right? So then that's when he asked for friendship and so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. But when you talk about glorifying this, and let's say the Lonzo and all the violence and all the stuff that happened, well, the truth is we can't get to who Daryl Bobby is today unless we shine the light on what happened, because you are who you are today because of your adverse past. And the fact that you lived through that, that's one. Survived it, that's two. And then in the midst of it, decided there's got to be a better tomorrow for me. That's the three. So there's a change there. So there was a transition. So you don't know. So for this, to push this out for just entertainment's sake, that's fine. But to me, that's not really the point because that doesn't help anybody. But what about the person out there, the people out there that are in the same crossroads you are? Like, I don't want this for my life anymore, right? But they're stuck in it. And we know that it has a certain end. It's either prison or death. If you're lucky, maybe you get to go to the crazy house, right? But prison or death, meaning whichever route you go, your life is going to end. If you get sentenced to life, that's it. You're not good to anybody. Kids, family, this, that, and the other. And then if you're dead, same thing. So there's a lot of people that they want to change, but they can't. So I think that this story can be inspirational because of the fact that, okay, you found your way out. It's not just about finding your way out, but how can I use what I got to get to where I need to be, where I want to be, right? So you got music, right? You got this story that you want to tell, so you want to put it out in a podcast, and now the podcast can turn into a series. But you've done a lot of other things on your own, right? Where now you're looking at, or not looking at, you purchased a big, nice house. You made a life. You moved out of California. Now you're living in Texas, right? And there's a lot of things that you've already done that people who have never been on the streets can look at and say, hey, shit, I want to do that. I need to do that. Because we can look at Tyler Perry, let's say, we can look at Oprah Winfrey, but those are called aspirational mentors, right? We aspire to be like them because of the fact that they've done all these great things. But the realization is we may not ever reach that level of success. So then you have to find a mentor that's just probably 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of you, right? Where now the steps you take are obtainable, right? So that's you, that's me, that's all these other folks that they grew up a certain way. The person you see today is not who I was 25, 30 years ago. I'm telling you right now. Okay. Um, and it's interesting because my ex-girlfriend, the one that I was just with, she she knew me from high school. We never spoke any words to each other, but we knew who each other was. And she knew my reputation back then. And then, so here it is, she moves to Houston. I find out through her posting videos, she in Houston. We connect, we do some work together, and we ended up liking each other and blah, 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 blah. But it's interesting how we were certain version of ourselves back then and completely different versions now, right? But how does that transformation happen, especially when you come from a dark place, right? One of the biggest influences in a child's life, in a person's life, is the environment in which they grow up on. So your parent, you could have had mom, dad, brother, sister, and they could have been saints. You could have been in the church all the time, so on and so forth. The problem is that would have never changed that nigga Lonzo from being across the street. It would have never changed the neighborhood that you grew up in, right? So from that bird cage, even though you went to church all the time, but from that bird cage, life would still look the same for you, and you still would have gravitated towards it, right? The only thing that would have saved you is God's grace, right? The universe thinking, hey, you know what? If this one can figure some things out, we might let this one out, right? So whatever you were taught, probably later on, you can change your mind and pull you out. In your cases, you just got tired and saw that there's the end don't look good for me, right? So how can I get the fuck up out of this? And a lot of people don't, they may have that conversation with themselves, but they don't follow through. They don't know that there's things that you can connect to and you got to dig deep to get up out of there. So it's a really big message because it's really, the audience is really those young men between teenagers and let's say between the ages of like 13 and 25, if you will, that still have a chance. What does one guy said? Any day above ground is a good day. But too many of them don't make it. My son didn't make it to his 19th birthday, right? For him, the game is over. For him, ain't nothing else to do, right? But for the living, there's always an opportunity. You always got some kind of chance, even if you got to preach that message from prison, right? But you can live to see another day. So that's what you got. So I think you have to portray the events as they happened because of the fact that we can't get to the end result. They say that the way you make a movie is you figure out how you want it to end. And then from there, you build a story backwards.
Yeah, that's my thing. I'm no longer in the gang. I was told the gang was death. Only way you got out of the gang is death. The only way you get out of a gang. That's what I was told. That's what I was trained. That's how I was programmed. But when I seen what the gang did with Kill Bill and his
Yep.
daddy and all the different things, and in my mind, in 2019, I was kind of away from the gang in a sense. I was still doing, I still had my reputation or whatever, but in my mind, I knew that the gangs were going to be where they at today. I knew that the gang, like all the loyalty, all the things I realized was a lie. You feel what I'm saying? And the irony of it is that you in love with something so much and it don't love you back. Like that's like the most hurtingest feeling if I can ever describe anything to you. Like I was really from my gang. I go sit and do years in prison behind my gang. I stabbed for my gang. I sold drugs for my gang. I did all the things. I didn't snitch. I did all the things that you're supposed to do for your gang according to the gang constitution, being a Crip. I did all the things right. And the gang still didn't love me. So the feeling of that, it's like loving a bitch that you put so much into her. You know what I'm saying? You take care of her, you loyal to her, and she go out and fuck one of your homeboys. You feel what I'm saying? She go out and fuck one of your partners. That's how I felt with the gang. That's how the gang made me feel. You know what I mean? And then I wanted out the gang. I didn't want, and I knew like when I went to Kill Bill funeral, right? I went with I had a one of those mini AK-47s on me with a trench coat on or whatever, right? And I had made it up. My oldest son, he fought his way. He wouldn't get out the car. I'm talking about this. All this shit is in the Watch Chronicles. He wouldn't get out the car. I left him in that car. He had the keys to the other car. And I'm like, nigga, you ain't got nothing to do with this. But he had got close to Kill Bill too. And I'm like, son, you ain't got nothing to do with this. He like, Pops, I know I'm not from Grape Street and none of that, but if they kill you, I'm from Grape Street. He like, if they kill you. He said, you go over there and the niggas kill you. He said, I'm in it anyway, Pops. Like, I'm going with you. He wanted to go so bad. You feel what I'm saying? He wanted to, and I say, son, please get out the car, bro. Like, because you know, something might finna pop up off here because this is where my mindset is at, right? You know what I'm saying? My mindset was like, I didn't give a fuck. You feel what I'm saying? Then once I don't give a fuck, back then, that means anything's possible can happen. You feel what I'm saying? So, and I'm going over there with a Draco. You feel what I'm saying? So he get in the car. He say, I'm going. I said, all right, nigga. You know what, come with it. This is what you want to do. Like, yeah. So we pull up to that motherfucker, bro. And I get out, I got a trench coat on, I got a steel beanie on, I got my purple rag, Mama style with the steam beanie over there. You can see it up from under there. I got my Lokes on. I'm standing there and I'm confrontational. You feel what I'm saying? Because I don't get high off drugs and shit. You feel what I'm saying? So what made me such a dangerous person is that once I made my mind up for shit, and I was taught by Fee and Tutu and Lonzo and them, this is how you gotta be. You feel what I'm saying? So this is how you gotta, only thing motherfuckers gonna understand is violence. You feel what I'm saying? In those areas. You feel what I'm saying? So when I got in that motherfucker and I seen certain motherfuckers, I was like, what's up, nigga? And I seen motherfuckers put their heads down and put their tail in their ass. And see, if a person do that for me, I'm gonna leave it alone. You feel what I'm saying? Like if you don't respond back to me like nigga, what's up? Then I'm gonna leave you alone. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm there for confrontation. You feel what I'm saying? I'm there for the motherfucker that feel how I feel right now. You feel what I'm saying? So once I seen that these niggas was not confrontational with me, and they sent the more reputable dudes, older homies over there to talk to me, and then I talked to them like they were bitches. You feel what I'm saying? Because this how I felt right now. Like I'm willing to die right now. What you punk ass niggas willing to do? Don't come over here trying to talk to me or plead with me on no punk shit right now. Y'all don't did this scandalous shit to Kill Bill. So when I'm the only one pushing this issue like this or whatever, and so these motherfuckers was petrified, bro. They wasn't scared. Some of them probably had guns on them or whatever the fuck, but their mindset was like, this nigga Kill is tripping. You feel what I'm saying? Like, he'll shoot this whole funeral up right now. You feel
So
what I'm saying?
what you're saying is that if you confronted them, but they backed down, then for you, there was no need to continue using any kind of force or to terrorize them. Fuck it, they already know their place. So that nigga, he ain't your threat.
No.
Let him
Like,
live.
what's the purpose? You feel what I'm saying? You're a bitch. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm talking in the game world. You feel what I'm saying? I'm talking about the not human, not regular people. I'm talking about in the gang life. I'm confrontational right now. Meaning, what's up? I tell you what's up, bitch ass nigga. Your response is, oh, bro, I ain't got nothing to do with that shit, Kill. I'm gonna leave you alone. You feel what I'm saying? Even though I thought you had something to do with it or your name came around, whatever, I'm gonna leave your punk ass alone because you just showed me that you a bitch. You feel what I'm saying? So in my mind, I'm gonna leave you alone. So I'm going after I want to, so we can shoot it out right now in my sick ass mind, how I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? Because, at one point I was sick, bro. Like at one point I was, I didn't, and once I click in my brain, you feel what I'm saying? Like I'm dangerous, right? So when I seen that, and then they sent, some of the older niggas over there like, hey, Kill, man, you know how you acting right now, homie. Like you ain't giving nobody no chance to explain. I say, fuck explaining something. You feel what I'm saying? Like, fuck all that. What's up? Oh, bro, I ain't got nothing with you, bro. I'm your big homie. You ain't my big shit. You ain't nothing to me right now, nigga. Fuck you. He put his tail in his ass. Cause I play chess. So it's a chess game now right now. I know you motherfuckers scared of me right now. You feel what I'm saying? Because I know that you motherfuckers know, nigga, that I ain't gotta sniff no dope, pop no pill, none of that shit. It's finna go off, right? So now they call a meeting after the funeral, right? They say, well, they tell me that I can't come with that Draco to the meeting, right?
Right.
I don't made my motherfucking mind up, bro. Like, I don't want no more obligation to this gang banging shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm done with this shit. And my wife had to convince me to let's move. So I go, I don't take my Draco, but I take my 40 Glock, right? And so we got me inside of the meeting, there's a bunch of old reputable niggas, about 70 motherfuckers in there. And some of the niggas that I've been, I know got a conflict with or whatever, done some scandalous shit, because within your gang, you got beefs within your gang. Especially a big gang like the gang I was in. So that I was once part of and loyal to or whatever. So when I come in here, they see I ain't got the big trench coat or nothing, but I got my motherfucking 40 Glock behind my back. So when they pat me like this, I got it stuck behind my back right here. So when they pat me, I ain't got it. So when we get inside of there, because I wanted to see how the aggression was gonna change. You know what I'm saying? I was gonna see like from the funeral, now we hear like you feel what I'm saying? Like what is it gonna be? So motherfucker was like, man, you disrespected everybody, woo 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 at the funeral, woo 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 wop. I stand up, bro, swear to God. Big D grave. I stand up, I pull that motherfucking 40 Glock from my back and I jack it off. And I say, hey, I'm done. I don't want no more obligation to this shit no more. I don't give a fuck who funeral go on or whatever happened around this bitch. I'm finna move. I'm finna change my life. Whoever got a problem with it, let's solve it right now. And I jacked that motherfucker off. Man, you should have seen how quiet the room got. You should have seen how scary these motherfuckers was. All these punk ass supposed to be tough ass niggas, how scary they are, bro. And once that shit dawned in my fucking head, bro, I was like, nigga, I felt such a relief. I felt like a big weight was taken off of my back, and I walked the fuck up out of there, and I ain't been back since. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't been this 2019. I ain't been back since. I've been going through like sicknesses. I caught COVID. Other than things like that, bro, I've been solid. You feel what I'm saying? Other than, things like that happening, sicknesses. But far as like riding with guns or feeling like somebody looking after me, no, all that shit's gone. You feel what I'm saying? I don't pray to God. I told God, man, like I used to sleep with guns. You feel what I'm saying? I used to keep a chopper behind I had a big curtain in my house. I used to keep an AK-47 right there, right? And one day my wife, she opened the door and the wind blew it and she seen it. And she was like, hey, is you gonna shoot that big ass gun if somebody come here? And I'm like, hell yeah. She like, man, that's scary. And that shit fucked me up so bad just to hear my wife say that, because I would hide certain things and she kind of knew, but I would hide stuff. You feel what I'm saying? I'm good at hiding shit or whatever, right? So, but when she said that, bro, it fucked me up so bad I can't describe to you how it made me feel for my wife, to say that to me. You know what I'm saying? To say like, nigga, is you gonna shoot that motherfucking big ass gun if somebody come to this house? And I said, hell yeah. And she said, that's scary. Something that simple. That's simple, bro. You gotta understand my mentality that I don't develop over the years. You listening to that shit, I don't develop. I was never a bad person, but I don't develop a certain type of mentality that if you don't know me, you will perceive that I'm a bad person. You feel what I'm saying? But that was only because of the mentality that I had taken on. And then the mentality, when I reversed it back on the gang by using that same mentality on them, which allowed them to say, hey man, let this nigga Kill go. Go on with your pigeons, Kill. Go on and just live your life. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's what they said. You feel what I'm saying? Like they didn't. I didn't leave with these. Oh, it's on or none of that shit. And he was like, "Hey man, let him go, bro. Let Kill just leave that nigga alone. Let him go fly his birds, man. Like leave the nigga alone. Like we don't took this nigga to the edge where he finna turn this motherfucking gun on us. You feel what I'm saying? Like he finna be a problem for us. Cause I was ready to start killing them, bro. That's just how fucked up I was in my mind. I was ready to start killing them. So so what's the, and I don't did all these years for this gang. I was so loyal to this gang, but I'm ready to start killing y'all. You feel what I'm saying? So the smart ones seen that, the smart ones that's been around, they said, man, let that nigga go. Leave it. and they checked each other and they drew the line, and I've been free from that shit since. And it's no longer, I don't have that like I would used to be concerned of how people felt about me. Like that's gone. I don't give a fuck what a motherfucker think about me. You know what I'm saying? And then my obligation to the game, that's gone. You feel what I'm saying? So those burdens have been taken off of me, bro. That's why I'm able to be normal. I sometimes I would think like when I caught COVID, when I'm in the hospital, diabetes. I used to tell myself, tell my wife, man, it's all out of the bad shit I done or whatever. She like, nah, nigga, it ain't, nigga, you ain't eating right. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you ain't taking care of yourself. Nigga, God not punishing you, following you, nigga, with wrong things you done. So I fought that in my life a lot. Like, nigga, I shot this nigga, I stabbed this nigga. In my mind, I'm fighting it in my mind like, nigga, you was a bad person. But in the reality of it, I wasn't. It's no different from a U.S. Marine being dropped out of the motherfucking sky into another fucking country, going over there, defending this fucking country, as they say, for our freedom. The gang shit is equivalent to that. That's what gang banging is. It's equivalent to the United States taking an innocent boy who never committed a crime in his life, train him, send his ass overseas, and he do it for his country. It's no different. That's what gangs are. So I had to lock that in my brain and understand, like, no, you was misled. So now you smart enough to read back and fix it. And now you was part of the problem. Now you can become part of the solution. That's what I convinced myself. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't give a fuck what a motherfucker think or say or whatever. I don't convince myself as crazy as I was, as willing as I was to die and sacrifice for certain things. I understand that I have a whole lot of intelligence. I didn't think I was smart. I didn't think I was I didn't think until I got around like people at this job. I didn't think I was a good person. Let me say this to you. This job helped me realize how great of a person I am with the integrity I have, and can nobody take that or change from me. So that's what I got from this punk ass job. You feel what I'm saying? Like these motherfuckers over here, they fake like they Christians. They all good. They do this and pray and all that shit. But at the end of the day, when nobody's looking, they ain't shit. They some bad fucking people, man. And anytime you mistreat an old person, that says a lot about you. You feel what I'm saying? It says a whole lot about your ass when you mistreat the elderly. You feel what I'm saying? That's like mistreating a baby. You feel what I'm saying? So I got one thing I can tell you, big bro, from that job. The job helped me a lot, and I sat here amongst myself, and that job helped me a lot to understand the type of person that I have become. And another thing, I'm gonna say this: when that punk motherfucker John came to me and sniffed and said he smelled booty, I was like this close from knocking him out. Right? He don't know I'm a knockout artist. He don't know I'm gonna knock him out and stomp him. Like I know how to throw a punch really well. I came this close from knocking John out and stomping him. Right. So when I came home, I sat on the edge of the bed. I was all fucked all up, bro. I just worked 12 hours. Motherfuckers worked the shit out of me and shit. And I'm going through all this weird shit up here. And I sat on the edge of the bed and I tell my wife, I say, baby, man. And I'm like having a hard time talking to her about it, bro, because it's some homosexual shit. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm sitting here like telling her, like trying to tell her, because this is the only person I really can talk to about shit is her. You know what I'm saying? So I say, baby, I say, man, today, man, this motherfucker John walked up to me, baby, and sniffed and said he smelled booty. And she looked at me and said, and my wife's a square from Delaware, bro. She looked at me and said, and you didn't knock his punk ass out? Hey, listen, I got up and started putting my clothes back on, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, that motherfucker get off at 7. I'm finna go punish him, right? But she grabbed me and hugged me, bro, and kissed me on top of my head and said, this is why I love you so much, because I see how much you have changed. That's what she told me. And so it took all that kill, and she took all that shit up out of me, bro. She took all that shit up out. She fucked me up one minute, like the Adam and Eve shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what I got to thinking about, like my mind crazy. I think like a woman can make a man do some shit. You feel what I'm saying? So I start thinking like, oh, I'm finna go fuck this motherfucker up. He get off at 7. He finna be there another 30, 40 minutes. It's 8 minutes from my house. I'm finna go up here and beat the shit out of him. And she hugged me and said, no. You've changed. You didn't insult that man when he did that to you. You said you don't change so much. That's why I love you so much. And
Yeah.
it seemed like all the anger went away, bro. So I know I've changed. You feel what I'm saying? I know I'm in a good mind state. That's why I feel like the Chronicles it ain't ended yet. You feel what I'm saying? That's why the kitchen that don't became a part of it because you know what I'm saying? The story ain't done yet. You know what I'm saying? God ain't done with me yet. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is.
Yeah. No, you'd have messed around and caught a hate crime too, man. They would have said, hey. Well, two things. So there's one thing is, hey, you know, a lot of times it's like, um, you said that a woman can make a man do a lot of different things, right? And but I think that's why God made her. You know what I'm saying? To kind of help us through certain things, because if you notice, they can be more emotional, whereas
Mhm.
we're more rational, right? And I think that it's the combination of the two that keeps everything balanced. And you're right, a woman can come home and tell you some bullshit, and then you go out and fuck a nigga up, right?
Yeah.
Also, she could also talk some sense into you, and a lot of
Mhm.
times that's what we need. So
Mhm.
I really do believe in that. But yeah, you can't go after the fact, man. You can't go after the fact and be trying to hurt people, man.
Yeah.
At that point, it's over and done with,
Mhm.
unless it happens again.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, it was more of a I don't took so much off of this dude, man, and then me, like how I respect people, I'm gonna give you your respect when I meet you. I don't care what type of how you are, whatever. Again, it goes back to being incarcerated. I don't met plenty of people that don't even deserve my respect, but I give them the respect until they give me a reason not to. And I
mm,
did nothing but respect John, even though I realized he was a homosexual and everything. I still answered him, yes, sir. Well, oh yeah, Chef John, what you need me to do? Yes, sir, I got it. I still gave him that. You feel what I'm saying? Like when deep down in my soul, like in my mind, I'm like, this motherfucker's a piece of shit. And then
mhm,
so as he started exposing himself to me, talking about the elderly, the things how he didn't care about, people that had Alzheimer's and shit like that, that shit really bothered me. You know what I'm saying? So he tended to lose his respect for me. Not because he was a homosexual, not just like how he treated people. Like, who are you to treat these people like this? You know what I'm saying? So I knew that regardless to whatever how he talking about using prison and try to use all that shit, I knew that I was a much better person than him. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have nothing to hide. I can talk about my life. Let's see you talk about yours. You feel what I'm saying? You're running around talking about everybody else. You got too much to hide. You can't talk about yourself. You feel what I'm saying? So you're not gonna use my past against me to think you're gonna be able to manipulate me or control me. And you play checkers, I play chess. You feel what I'm
mhm.
saying? So that's why now they in the situation they in now because they underestimated me and thought they could get me to blow a fuse. You feel what I'm saying? They thought they can get me to act out, but they just fired me. They fired me right now saying that I was cussing and the thing, like I was real. But when you listen to the audio, you hear me begging. Like, could you please just tell him to just do his job, man? Like, I just want to do my job. Like all this other stuff is like it's not. Go look at the camera. That's all you hear me tell. Go look and see. We've been working since 5:30 this morning. Go look. Go look at the previous. Just look at the days. The camera. Y'all say y'all can't hear nothing, but the camera tells a story within itself just by
Does it
watching the
all.
footage.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? That's all you hear me saying to them, bro. Then she say, Melissa say, but go back to work then. And then I say, so is we gonna have someone gonna talk to Rick? Like somebody gonna where's the conversation gonna go after this? And then that's when Jenny said, go home, you hostile. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I know, like I'm a better person than them. Just because they white, just because they in the position they in, you feel what I'm saying? Don't make them a better person than me. Just because they walking around and talk about Jesus all day, don't make them a better person than me. It's your
Mhm.
actions, how you treat people. You know what I'm saying? It's what you stand on. You feel what I'm saying? Your principles. That's
Yep.
what makes you who you are. What you go through in life is what makes you who you are. So I knew these are some bad people. And bro, when you sat in and as I just listened to this shit, bro, I'm like, this shit is a movie within itself because it's just too many characters, it's too many ways. It's like they say change the culture, right? If you change the culture of that kitchen over there, with my mentality, you change the culture of the whole facility in there because everything starts within the kitchen. Believe it or not, everybody come through the kitchen. The nurses, the everybody in there wants something to eat out of the kitchen. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody wants to pay for anything, so the kitchen is the powerful piece within that place. You know what I'm saying? So if you change the culture of the kitchen, you change the culture of the place. And that's with me. That's my business thinking right there because they got so many complaints and so many shit going on there because it starts with the kitchen. You feel what I'm saying? That's where it first starts at. You know what I mean? So when I came, I changed the way. Like if people, if I'm gonna go with the independent living people, right? If they know that I'm cooking BLTs and burgers and making salads, that's all they gonna order that day. They're not gonna get nothing else. So the rest of the chefs are gonna get mad because they know I'm gonna make these people salads for fresh. I'm not using no shit y'all had sitting in the refrigerator already made. I'm throwing that away. I'm making fresh bacon. I'm not gonna use no too year heated up in the microwave bacon. I'm making everything fresh. I'm not having the meat set aside some beef broth for 2 days. I'm making a big fresh patty on the grill. The grill right here. Cook a
Mm.
burger 5-10 minutes on the grill, so I could throw 20 of them on there at one time. So in my mind, that's how I thought. And so the residents caught on to that. So it made them motherfuckers, just for me being who I am, it made them other motherfuckers hate my guts. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? So it like I understand when the things you say, like, you have to like tell the story in order to get to where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? We just can't, hey, here's Bobby Wilson, and it's accepted. You gotta go through the being tried as, like, you haven't got to when I got tried as an adult. You ain't got to none of those things. You know what I'm saying? You got to get to those things, and then as it constantly grow on you, you're gonna be like, okay, we gotta. This is what we gotta do. That's all I need is a person saying what we gotta do and not what I gotta do. Because when you got those things, people start thinking of how they gonna benefit off of it and not include me as the centerpiece of benefiting off of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna go get you a deal, right? Like, he went and got him a podcast deal, but he used my podcast to get his deal.
Yeah.
So in my mind, how I think, I'm like, okay, nigga, you got to say that. Okay, well, we ain't got to put it in the paperwork or nothing, but I need to benefit from that. You feel what I'm saying? Your deal is based on my podcast. You just knew somebody to get yourself in this situation right now. And instead of you saying this to me, you going through all these different things to get me to get you the stems so you can go upload it into some big studio, change a few things, and then say, hey, I got production credit on it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. So, and I don't give a fuck how long we've been knowing each other. All you have to do is keep it real, bro. Hey, bro, this is what needs to be done. Don't try to manipulate me, get me in front of people where they start talking all this money and think I'm going to just jump. You feel what I'm saying? Think I'm going to just bite when I see that this relationship is from the end how it began. This is what I see because I know how I am. You feel what I'm saying? Like, when once I don't give a fuck, I don't give a fuck, and that makes me a bad um, representation of things. You know what I'm saying? Because the mentality, I haven't figured that out yet, especially in business. I haven't figured out. But if I got somebody I trust, like my wife or somebody I'm dealing with, and they make me understand, hey, bro, this is why we got to do this like this. I'm the most easiest person in the world, bro, to get along with. But when you have hidden agendas and you don't tell me, hey man, I got this podcast deal because they've been listening to your shit. Then then another thing he did, he was sharp. He took all the Zoom meetings as we talked about the podcast, me and him and the white boy that he brought in. I've been knowing nigga all my life. He went and brought this white boy in, and they used the podcast, the Zoom meetings to show the people that was giving them the deal. We are in contact with Bobby Wilson. We having meetings and shit. They edited it or whatever. So when I came, the people knew exactly who I was and all that shit. But they had never had a conversation with me. It was only based on what they were saying and what I had agreed to. But that's just like you tell me, hey man, I got a deal on the table. I'm like, I'm gonna say, hey, yeah, that's what's up. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say, put it in writing. That's what I'm gonna say, bro. But they ain't they don't put the part where I say put it in writing. They just put the part where I'm like that I'm agreeing with everything. You feel what I'm saying? That's how they did me. So when I figured it all out, I was like, man, and I fucked up because if I had somebody there to say, hey, I'm representing sitting on a pot of gold right now, and I'm representing Bobby with this Watch Chronicle shit because Bobby mentality, right? Whatever reason you use, whatever. You ain't even gotta give it a reason why. You feel what I'm saying? It's just the best you for the best interest of the situation. If I had someone in a lot of those deals, bro, I would have been got some money for this shit already. Would it would have been the right money? I don't know. You feel what I'm saying? But in my mind, I shot it, and this just been over the last year and a half where I shot a lot of things down, and then I got sick and so it looked like I fell off or whatever. It looked like I should. It felt like I should have took that deal. You know what I'm trying to say? Even with my wife, she's like, "Damn, maybe you should have took that, got that 100K." You feel what I'm saying? It was
Yeah,
just
but
one.
100K don't go as far as people think, man.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
100K might not even be enough to bankroll your next project. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You got to think
yeah,
about that, man. So
yeah.
you got too many artists. Hold on. I'm gonna show you this and I'm gonna get off because I got a couple things to do and I gotta run over to this other apartment. Where's my
Mm-hmm.
screen? Um, okay, desktop two. Desktop two. So can you see my screen, man?
Yeah, I see. I'm trying to make it bigger so I can read it.
Okay.
Okay, what is that?
So what do you see?
I see. Let me see. Trying to make it big. Desktop notification on computer.
I just want to make sure you see in the right screen. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. I need my glasses to be honest
Okay,
with you, but
okay.
I see.
But you see a white page with different colors and a list
Yeah,
of things. Okay.
yeah. You moving up and down. Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty much I was want to show you that this is like almost like project management or work management. So I got some things like so planning. I listed some things here, right? So get media from Bobby, right? So you done sent me some videos, you sent me some audio stuff, right? And then I'm not sure if I saw something with like all the different photos of, let's say the cover and a few other things, but I want to get some of those from you.
Mhm.
Format the production for demo, right? So that's where we're talking about, hey, how can we outline this so that we got an idea of something short that we could do, that we could put this together and then, you know, get ready to have something to show as we're pushing it out on social media. The other thing is, I'm gonna put down here, take down all episodes of the Watts Chronicle, right? So basically, all this is for me is to go through and then figure out, okay, so this is the plan, this is what we're working on, this is what was finished, so we can kind of get to where we're going. It don't have to be long. I mean, if we could get this shit done in 2 weeks, then get it done in 2 weeks, right?
Mhm.
I'm not talking about 6 months, but I'm just talking about just stay organized so that we on beat, we can arrange certain things. So if I had to drag something underneath another thing, and if I can give it a date, so hey, so we need to complete this by this date, right? And then go from there.
Mhm.
I got subtasks like I showed you before. So pitch to studios, right? I got here Netflix, Prime Video, Time Perry Studios, but we're not ready for that just yet. But this is just a way of me of organizing all the tasks like I do every other project. I
Mhm.
got a social media section, I got an in progress section, and I got a completed section. So just wanted to let you know this is what I was talking about, just like next steps. So I do think that we need to come up with an outline for the little production we want to do, and how long do we want to make it. I don't think we should make a whole episode.
No, hell no.
Okay. So
No.
how long of a clip you think we should make?
At least 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, and then
And then we got that whole 4 or 5 minutes. We got 4 or 5 minutes, which is a lifetime far as what I'm looking at far as social media. You feel what I'm saying? Just say we get so Lonzo, the first Bird Boy is 17 minutes. That's how long, that's the shortest one, right? I just sent you get that email. I
oh,
sent you an email.
you said
I
it.
sent you I sent it to you. Yeah, I sent you that was that's Bird Boy the beginning. That's what I call it, or whatever. You feel what I'm saying? So when you got time, listen to that. That's a whole now I think that's maybe 2 or 3 minutes long. But that sets it up for Bird Boy. You know what I'm saying? That sets up Bird Boy. I actually but when you able to but yeah, no, that's we on the same page with it. I've been thinking about taking everything down and just because I got all new covers for everything. Like, season 1 is called No Teenage Years. That's chapter 1 through 5. It's called No Teenage Years. That's season 1, chapter 1 through 5. Season 2 is Product of the System. That's 6 through 10. Season 2. Then season 3
Wait, 1 through 5.
is No Teenage Years.
I saw that somewhere.
Yeah.
Teenage
Yeah.
years.
No Teenage Years. That's 1 through 5. Then 6 through 10 is Product of the System. I don't know, we can change it or whatever, but that's me just thinking. You feel what I'm saying? That's
Okay.
me just thinking of how I looked at it or whatever. And then the last one, I call it life. The 11 through 15, I call it life, but it says what you go through in life is what makes you who you are. That's what the last one is, because now I don't mold it into I was gonna end it how I want to end it, me here in Texas. At one point I had to shop while I was doing the funerals and the weddings with the white pigeons. That's what I came here and started doing. But I caught COVID. Then that's when I met you. After I caught
What you go through in life, what?
is what makes you who you are. I'm gonna send you all the cover. I got all the covers for all that shit. I'm gonna send them to you. I got all the covers for each season, all that shit. I got all the new covers for all the new seasons, all that shit. I just got sick. I got sick, bro. Went in the hospital. Like, I've been hospitalized a couple of times and shit. So it took a lot out of me, surgeries and shit. But now I'm overcame them. I'm back in the gym. I'm not lifting super hard or whatever, but I'm getting my strength back and my mental mentality. I'm back. You know what I'm saying? I fell off.
Okay. Okay. So no, this is good, man. Yeah, send me that. I'm gonna keep going through everything to get some ideas, and I'm gonna somehow outline this thing so that we got a better way of going into how can we put something together that we could have ready for not just social media, but that's what is going to invite the other companies to want to come and check us out, because it's got to be real juicy. We got to be able to condense the story and make it juicy enough for people to just come back like, yo, what the fuck's going on? But I do have one more question. You talked about season 2, and obviously season 2 is what, based on your audio podcast versions. So I asked you, in terms of movie, you got to ask yourself, how do you want the movie to end so you can work your way backwards and build the whole story, right? Or figure out how to organize your story. So my question to you would be, so if it's going to be a series, then how does that go? Do you want this to go season 1, 2, and 3? Do you want it to just be a season 1, like a mini series, where the design of it was only going to be season 1, or do you want it to continue on? And then if it continues on, does it have to go from what's real to some fake shit? Because now we got to keep writing things, right? So how do you see that?
I think once I get um um what once I get it finished,
Mhm.
because you gotta understand, getting it finished, how it started is me going to like I would go to this funeral I did, right? I would go to this funeral I did, whatever. I pull up, I got my cage. The way my cage is, it hooks onto the back of the truck. It's white, and I pull up. And when I told him, I say he was a young dude got killed. I say, let me play. What's his favorite song? I'm gonna pull up playing that motherfucker, right? Playing his song or whatever. And then I pull up, I set everything up, I pray, and then I release the birds, right? That's where I was started in my mind. Me as a grown man, I would either choose a funeral or a wedding. I only said the funeral because I lost all my birds that day. I did that shit for free, and I lost every bird. So that shit's in my head. You know what I'm saying? So, but I
Wait,
did very
wait.
nice.
So that's the funeral of who, and you want to use that as what, like an opening scene?
Yes, I'm saying, I'm here in Texas now, right? And I'm doing weddings and funerals. I'm releasing the white pigeons. Remember when Bird Boy, when I walk up and I say, Mom, I know where some white angels are at. And she tell me, no, boy, them some doves. So now we start me right here, you know what I'm saying? Already in Texas, I'm doing the weddings and funerals and shit with the white pigeons. I'm releasing them. I'm describing to you how I release them. I
Hold
hook
on,
them up if I
hold on,
can.
hold on 1 second, hold on. So you at a funeral, you play the song, you say a
Mm,
prayer, you release the birds. The birds are in
mm,
the sky, and then from there, a shot goes down to little Bobby when he sees them as angels, and it goes to the scene of going to running on tell mama that I just
exactly.
angels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some to that degree, or we finish everything out. Like the older man, I leave. I tell the people, they ask me what, they try to give me money. I tell them, I don't take no money, and I leave, and I get back to my shop, and we're looking up for my birds to come. And it start raining real hard. They never return, right? Then we go to the back to how I got right here to where I'm at. You feel what I'm saying? In my mind, that's how I was thinking. You feel me?
Okay, hold on. I just want to put my thoughts out there so that you got it. So pulling up to the funeral, playing the deceased favorite song, saying a prayer, releasing the birds, the doves go into the air. As we film the birds in the air, we shoot back down to little
Well,
Bobby.
the bird circle. They're gonna circle that event probably 5 or 6 times. They're gonna
Okay,
circle it. They're gonna
okay,
circle it. You feel what I'm saying? Then they're gonna take off in the direction to go home, where I got them trained to go home at, which was my shop.
yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, but when the birds finally leave, the people start coming up to me trying to give me money, and I tell them, I just did this for the deceased or whatever. Like, they didn't have no money. They did it through they didn't have no insurance or nothing on it. So it was like I couldn't really charge them or whatever. But I lost all my birds that day. Like it started raining. It started like raining really hard.
Yep.
And so I'm looking for them to come back. I keep looking and they don't come back. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, so now that sorrowness of that, like I didn't make no money for it, you know what I'm saying? And I did a good gesture or whatever in my mind because of how I am as a person, that I became as a person. And I took the L. I lost all my birds, which would set my business behind drastically because I had to give 2 people their money back because I didn't have enough pigeons to cover that wedding, which was a 4 grand. Anytime somebody give you 4 grand, you got to give it back. You know how hard that is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm saying I want to show like that and then take me back to the boy. You know what I'm trying to say? I want to show that. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, how this nigga get to be like this? You know what I'm saying? Like,
So hold on. So this is what I'm thinking now. And you can use this however you want, but I want to put this out there as it came to me. So pull up to the funeral. You got the song, the prayer, releasing of the birds. They do their thing, right? You look at it. So we're looking at the birds doing their thing. Then it comes back down on little Bobby back in time where he sees these birds and he thinks that they're angels. Run back and tell Mama, right? And then it goes into the bird cage with the trap door and little
Mm.
Bobby looking out, seeing Lonzo. Lonzo pulls a gun, and then you don't see him pointing it at nobody, and then the gun goes off, pow, and that's when Watch Chronicle logo comes on, and then the music starts playing for the song for the episode.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay, gotcha.
yeah.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be that. What you think about the old version of me? What I'm saying?
Wait, what'd you say now?
The old me starting with the old part of me being here in Texas. You know what I'm saying? Like starting it off.
Um, which part of you being here in Texas?
I'm saying me releasing the birds. I'm saying me. That's all in
Yes,
Texas.
no.
I'm
So
saying,
that's what I'm saying, because it's almost like this is who you are now. We shoot back to where it is, right? And then by that gun going off, by you looking through the trap door, and the gun, Lonzo has the gun and fires it, and then the Watts Chronicle thing goes off. Now we can start telling the story, right? But that
yeah,
almost become like the intro, if you will, to each episode. You get what I'm saying? But just that little thing right there kind of shows the present, the past, and then now we get into how all that shit came to be.
yeah.
I don't see an email from you, man.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah. You probably sent it to Aaron. What's his name by mistake?
Oh shit.
I'm kidding. I
Oh man, he would love to have that, huh? I sent it to Jose. Let me see. Forwarded it. Gonna forward it again to.
say that.
WeGotItCorp.com.
Oh, yeah, that's my business email. Is that where you send it? No,
Yeah.
let me check that.
Okay, you know what? Because I'm sending it from my old email. That's crazy. I'm sending it to my old email. And I got you in another email with, I guess, your other one. I can send it to the new one.
Yeah, I don't see it. I
What's the
still
new one?
um
Send it-
this way you don't get it messed up. You put it in all caps.
No, see what that is? That's my email, me emailing you from years ago when you first gave me your, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I still have that email, but I don't use it as much anymore, but I don't see it in there. So I just sent you my current business email.
Okay, this is what I'm finna do. I'm finna send it to myself to the email where I got you attached.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I've been sending you stuff from the Duro Bobby 48 email into. That's at live, right?
No.
Jose Maldonado at live.com.
Okay, you can use that one. So it's Jose dot Maldonado.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I've been sending stuff to. So I just sent it to that one.
Okay, let me check real quick.
Now I'm finna start sending everything. All the covers, the different things, so you can get more of an understanding of it. And I think we're gonna say, okay, this is what he got, this is what we got, so we can figure it out from there. You know what I'm saying?
All right, did you send it already?
Yeah, I sent it.
Man, I don't see nothing. Refreshing the page. Go to my other. Oh, wait, new message from Bobby. Okay.
Okay, Miss Wilson, I'm gonna need you to listen to me.
Okay, I got it. I got this is good. I like this. I like this already. Okay.
Yeah,
That's just an MP3, right?
yeah.
Okay. Yep, I can work with that. So
All right.
let me run, man, because I got to take care of some other stuff and we'll connect tomorrow.
I gotta go feed my birds. All right, big dog. Be safe.
So
All right.